All right, family, Merry Christmas. Hope you guys all had a great holiday weekend. And I'm making this video sort of as a preface towards my group coming up, my small group coming up, and basically as a preface to any group that you guys are planning on joining in the future, because these are all very important things that you guys need to realize before joining any type of subservice. Okay, so let's start with the first one, which is you need to order this book if you don't have it already. Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Fantastic book. Got recommended it to me by my mentor, and it's just an all-around very powerful book. If you've never read a book about the psychology of trading, this will really open up your mind towards all of those, all of that entire aspect of trading that doesn't really get talked about, especially in these large groups when people and these big multi-million dollar traders are just throwing out their alerts. They're not really talking about the psychology of trading and the real risks of trading that you as that you personally are experiencing, because these multi-million dollar traders, they're not experiencing the same emotions, the same risk levels as you are. Everyone is on their own journey in trading, and you definitely need to realize and understand that in every way possible. And it starts by reading this book, in my opinion. It's a very easy read, and I'm pretty sure it's cheap on Amazon. But yeah, either way, if it's $30 plus, definitely still a great read. It's only like 100 and something pages. You can finish it in 2 days. Very easy read. Definitely get on the ball and order this book. Next idea is you need to understand your plan when you're going into these types of groups. You know, there's a few groups I've been in where it's just alerts. Okay, and if it's just alerts and they're not talking about exactly what they're seeing or their plans or basically their system, then I really don't see the point of joining something like this. You know, I'm joining these groups, or I was joining these subservices to become my own self-sufficient trader. Okay, so you can join subservices to just take alerts. You know, if you have a very busy schedule, you can just take alerts, but you need to realize that the person you're following, their risks might not be the same as yours. You know, so they can lose money on like 3 trades, 4 trades before they start getting worried or their account starts taking a big beating. You know, so you need to understand that if you're just taking alerts, it's definitely not something I recommend, and you definitely need to. I would just have an account where you can accept the entire risk of the account. You know, if the entire account goes to 0, you're not stressing. And I know that's a lot for people to really wrap their head around when they're taking trades from these huge multi-million dollar traders. But when you think about it, if you have a $10,000 account and the person you're following has a $10 million account and they're taking 5% of their trades, 5%, 2% on their trades, if you're taking 2% on your $10,000 account, you might not be able to take the amount of size that they are. You know, they might be able to cut 4 or 5 legs as they go up into their profits. You might only be able to take 1 or 2. So that's where things can get pretty complicated, and you really just need to accept the risks of being a trader. And so for that reason, I definitely don't recommend just taking alerts. Instead, you can take alerts if the traders are good. You can take their alerts, but also you want to find a good trader who actually explains what they're seeing and basically explains how to get to the level that they are. You know, they explain their strategy, their exact thought process, and basically explain it in a way where you can recreate it in your own trading. Because we're all trying to be self-sufficient traders. And if the person you're following isn't trying to make you a self-sufficient trader or isn't trying to help you in that journey, then in my opinion, they're just trying to use you for side income. You know, they're not trying to actually help you in life. They're trying to keep you there as long as they can. So it's just something to think about it. I would, if my plan going into these groups, I used to enter a lot of subservices, and I would just try to learn as much as I can. So I would enter these groups, and I would take alerts every once in a while if the trader was really good, but I would focus on what they were doing right, you know, and what I liked about what they were doing right. I would pick and choose from different subservices what I liked most, and eventually, with a little a little bit of my own creativity, I created my own system out of everything I learned from everybody and a little bit of my own creativity. And that helped me come up with my theory zones and exactly how I trade them. So that should be your plan going into a subservice. Now, let's move on to the next one. Yeah, so be prepared to interact, especially if the group is small. Now, I've been in a few subservices where it's just thousands of people. There's no chance to interact with anybody. But I've also been in some where it's like 100 people, 50 people. And honestly, 3 years ago, I was in a subservice and I met basically my best friends. I met 10, 15, 20 people that I ended up meeting in person, and a couple really close ones that now I see at least once a month in person. I'll go visit them. So these small groups are places to interact and have fun as well, these small subservices. Options and trading in general can be a lonely game if you are not prepared to interact and make friends like that. So when you join these groups, definitely try to reach out, ask as many questions as you can, talk to other people who are also in the same group. Try to talk to the person leading the group. If they're a good group leader, they should respond to all DMs. If they're not responding to DMs, or if you're tagging them in just like a Discord and they're not really responding, then maybe rethink like the type of group you're in. You want to be able to speak directly to the person you want to learn from the most. But like I said, also interact with the other people in the group who are also trying to learn. Y'all can bounce ideas off of each other and just get better. That's honestly how I became the trader I am today. I met a few of my best friends. We would talk back and forth, throw ideas back to each other, and just became really powerful as traders. All right, next. This should be the last one as well. So you want to go into these groups ready to learn, not ready to make ginormous returns. Okay, people, when they join groups for the first time, they'll maybe join for the first month, have a great month, see the person making $1 million month, if they're a huge trader, and think, wow, my life is going to change forever. They start bringing out their calculator and figuring out how much extra money they're going to make if they're making, $1,000 a week. They come up with these wild expectations based on how their first experience went in the group. And from personal experience, I've been in a lot of these groups, and that's not how you want to go into it. The money can be nice, but the money comes with learning. Okay, you can get lucky in this market and think you're doing good and then blow it all. The market is ruthless, so you want to go in ready to learn. The more you learn, you will make money. The profits will come with how experienced you are and how much you learn from all these groups, and eventually make your own system. So going into these groups, don't expect to make money, even just make money in general in the first couple months or so. This trading is a long game. I've been in groups where I know the trader is an amazing, 8-figure trader, and he posts his trades as well. But I've still seen so many people, including myself, I've lost money with traders like that. And when you're speaking to thousands of people or hundreds of people, you can't expect everyone to basically make the same returns as the person leading it. Now, the simplest way to go about this, retrading in the zone, go in ready to learn, not to make these 1,000% returns. Don't expect to 10x your account in the first year, but go in ready to make your own system. Go in ready to learn every little thing about their system, no matter how long it takes. If it takes you 5-6 years to become a consistent trader, it will have been worth it. Because as soon as you cross that threshold of barely breaking even to making money, the compound results of options trading will be enormous, and your P&L will skyrocket. I'm telling you that. Yeah, that's basically all my advice. If you go into these groups like this, your success is inevitable. Okay, start by ordering Trading in the Zone. Start by ordering that book and read it. It is such a powerful book. I read it at least once every 4 months. I read it 3 times a year. But that's it, family. Hope you guys had a very Merry Christmas. I'm ready for Monday. I'm ready for my group to start as well. I'm ready for the new year.